After almost a month on the road, the Reno 1868 Football Club returns to Northern Nevada and more confident than ever after back-to-back wins. But now this team is in search of their first win at home. And to do that, they'll have to top one of the best teams in the league and the Seattle Sounders too. It's Reno and Seattle United Soccer League action right now on My 21 TV. Hey everybody, live from the biggest little city. Welcome inside Greater Nevada Fields alongside our new color analyst, Colin Tabor. I'm Alex Margulies. Great to have you aboard this evening for this USL broadcast. All right, Colin, let's get right into this. The Sounders, this team third place right now in the table, 4 wins, 4 draws, and just 1 loss. And for them at the top of their order, Ivan Para has been a very dangerous striker, especially as of late.
Yeah, Alex, so 3 goals for Irvin Para this season. Expect him to be the danger man today. He'd like to build onto that and try and get some goals for them. But
Parra, as you see there, from Inglewood, California, and some time in Germany before coming over back to the States. So certainly got to keep an eye on for this one tonight. For Reno 1868, Dane Kelly, he is the all-time leading scorer in USL history. The Jamaican has been red hot as of late for Reno 1868.
Yeah, so against Phoenix, he grabbed a great hat trick. Looked real clinical out there, looked sharp, and let's hope he can grab some more for Reno 1868.
It should be a lot of fun here tonight. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. We'll show Seattle for you first, and we mentioned Irvin Para, certainly someone to look forward to towards the top there. David Olson as well, a talented striker. In the back four, Sam Rogers, a talented young 18-year-old, just turned 18 on Wednesday. He's big, he's strong, and certainly someone to look forward to towards the back of the Sounders lineup. And for Reno 1868, some changes for Ian Russell's club. Dane Kelly, of course, still at the top, but Antoine Opino getting his first start as a forward. He has appeared in every game for Reno this year, but mostly in the midfield. Also, Lindo Mfeka. This guy has been a very talented addition, made his first start in Reno's last game against Phoenix, and he seems to be a real game changer.
He was absolutely electric against Phoenix. 2 assists, 93% passing accuracy. Look for him to be able to get the ball and take on people and make something happen with it.
All right, so we've got some United Soccer League action coming up for you tonight. The Reno 1868 Football Club and the Seattle Sounders, too, will have it kickoff right after this break, right here on My 21 TV. All right. Off and running. A look at the Battle-Born Brigade as they've got the drums, the flags, and they are ready to go for some soccer here tonight in downtown Reno. Again, 1868 coming off of a win in Phoenix, 4-0. They also won earlier in the week in the U.S. Open Cup, so certainly riding some momentum. Take a look at the two coaches in this matchup. The Seattle Sounders, too, they're led by Ezra Hendrickson. He's been their head coach since 2015, a 14-year pro in the MLS. He is out of St. Vincent's and the Grenadines as we are underway here tonight from the biggest little city. Our officials, Chapalo Street, our center referee, Matthew Rodman, Alejandro Aguilera, and sideline is Benjamin Limon. Reno 1868 led by head coach Ian Russell in this inaugural season. And Russell is certainly happy with his team's performance last week, not only in Phoenix, but also in the U.S. Open Cup against OSA, a team out of Seattle, which they were able to win in penalty kicks back on Wednesday to advance to the third round. Here's Dane Kelly making a move into the Seattle Sounders box, and they will knock it away. And it looks like an early corner kick coming for Chris Wehan. Wehan, 23 years old, out of Laguna Niguel, California. Got his first career goal in that 4-0 win over Phoenix. Here it comes, gets into the box, headed high over the goal. And it looked like that was Dane Kelly. Just couldn't finish, but a good chance there from Chris Wehan.
Smart near post run from Dane Kelly. Expect him to be dangerous on those. He's looking sharp right now. Expect him to try and find space in the box.
There you see it again. He got his head on it, but couldn't control it in front of the net.
Interesting to see Antoine Openo playing up top. I mean, he played in the midfield up until against Phoenix. He actually played right back, so he's someone that Ian Russell can depend on to play anywhere, and he's going to do the job. Yeah,
that'll be an interesting storyline in this match here tonight. Openo, despite the fact he hasn't played a whole lot of forward for Reno in his soccer career, which includes a lot of time in the MLS with the Philadelphia Union, he played quite a bit of time at forward, including a couple seasons, which netted him 7 Major League Soccer goals. Pretty amazing for Reno to have somebody with that kind of experience on their roster, and we'll see what he can do making his first start up at the top.
Absolutely. He's a very dependable player. You know he's going to do a job Phoenix, wherever you put him, whether it be right back, whether it be up top. He's dynamic with the ball, and he's going to work hard on the press.
Here's Sam Rogers at the bottom of the screen for the Seattle Sounders.
Interesting to see Antoine Openo playing up top. He played in the midfield up until against Phoenix. He actually played right back, so he's someone
within the Sounders organization.
Can depend on to play anywhere.
David Olson on the ball now.
Yeah, David Olson's a very dangerous player. He very good at dribbling, taking people on, so expect to see something from him tonight.
Here's Olson trying to weave his way through the Reno defense. Sounders able to keep the possession.
Interesting to see Antoine Openo
out of bounds will be Brent Richards. Good to see Brent Richards finally healthy and on the field for 1868. He's been out the entire season with a knee injury. Finally got on the field earlier this week in that U.S. Open Cup matchup. And I know Ian Russell really, really excited to get him back on the pitch.
Oh, absolutely. He played 120 minutes Wednesday night in Seattle against OSA FC, so it's looking like he's fit. I mean, it's perfect timing. Unfortunately, Thomas Janjigian, another fullback, is out with a partially torn ACL, so timing actually couldn't be better for Brent Richards to be back.
Soccer fans, Nike, an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. And you can also stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune in to the USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 9 o'clock Eastern on Sirius XM FC Channel 85. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. Opening minutes here tonight in downtown Reno. 1868 back at home, and what will be the first of 2 home matches over the next week. Next Wednesday, Tulsa Roughnecks coming to town. 1868 hoping to build a little bit of momentum here in the early part of the season. I know things have not started the way that Ian Russell has wanted, but coming off of that 4-0 win against Phoenix, and again, a victory in the U.S. Open Cup, this team, I think, right now playing with a lot of confidence.
Oh, absolutely. That win in Phoenix was huge for Reno 1868. It will build them that momentum to go forward, and hopefully they'll be able to give a win for these home fans who really deserve it.
Yeah, last home match, I think the fans left a little disappointed. A draw against Colorado Springs, and we saw a goal happen in the final seconds of that match on a corner kick. Otherwise, Reno was going to walk away with 3 points, but instead had to take the draw.
Yeah, and it just came down to a little lack of concentration. Free header in the box, and Reno will be looking to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Here's Seth Kasipley. Gets it into the box, trying to find Dane Kelly, but Brian Meredith will step up and pick it away.
Kasipley with, I believe, his first start of the season. Very technical player, sees the field well, very good passing range.
And Kasipley into the lineup, as is Lindo Mafeka. Talked about him in the Open, and of course Brent Richards. So some new faces here on the pitch for these home fans here tonight.
Yeah, it'll be good to see them. It'll be good to see how they turn out tonight.
Here's Matt Bersano in goal, the 24-year-old from Arizona. Just signed this past March with the San Jose Earthquakes, and he's one of a couple San Jose players here on loan, along with Mafeka.
And Kip Colby as well.
Colby as well.
Jackson Ewell, who is not here today. He is with San Jose this weekend.
Yeah, it's been good. He started the season here in Reno, but has been able to get up to San Jose and help contribute with the big league club. Jordan Morel with a long pass down the field, ricocheted. Here's Dane Kelly. Kelly in the box, left-footed strike in, high and wide, but taking a shot there early. Dane Kelly, early in that match against Phoenix, he had a hat trick, but 2 of those goals came within the first 10 minutes of the match. An aggressive here early again, and looked like Opano got a piece of that off of his back.
Yeah, last game against Phoenix, first 6 minutes in, Dane Kelly already had 2 goals. He's off to another start with 2 shots already.
Definitely a guy you want to give a lot of chances. He certainly knows what to do with it. 54 career goals. Nobody in United Soccer League history has more goals than the Jamaican Dane Kelly.
Oh, he absolutely knows how to find the back of the net.
Here's David Olson getting sprung loose. Centers it. Right-footed strike, and it goes just past the post. Oh, that was a close one. Zach Mathers almost delivered for the Sounders here in the 7th minute as it went just past the diving arms of Matt Bersano. Let's take another look.
Yeah, Mathers was able to find a little space in front of the box and was able to fire a low shot in. Reno would want to tighten those lines up and make sure that he's not able to receive the ball in front of the back 4.
So an early scare for Reno 1868, but still 0-0 as we approach minute number 8 here on this gorgeous night in northern Nevada. Absolutely perfect weather for some soccer. Some of the early games a little chilly, but nothing you can complain about here tonight.
Oh, it's a beautiful day. Yeah, it's a little cold the last couple of games, so it looks like there's more fans out here tonight enjoying the warm weather.
Yeah, we've got a real nice crowd on hand for what is Reno's 7th ever game in the United Soccer League, and a chance, as I mentioned, to try and get that first win here in this home building. Here's Brian Nana Sinkum, 22-year-old from Pennsylvania, with the throw-in. Matt LaGrassa helps control it back for Reno, sends it up to Rehan. Here's Seth Kasipley, as you mentioned, making his first start with Reno 1868. We've seen him come on as a sub in a few matches this season, but getting a chance to crack Ian Russell's lineup.
And some good passing combinations from Reno 1868. We know that's something how Ian Russell likes to play. He likes to keep the ball on the ground. He likes to play the ball quickly and move up the field.
Here's LaGrassa again, very versatile player for Reno, seeing him play all over the field already this season.
Absolutely. He's had a stint at right back. He's been playing holding mid. He's played in a box-to-box role. Today he'll be playing a holding mid role. He very honest player, hardworking. You know what he's going to do. He's going to win the ball back, and he's going to find players like Chris Weehan and Lindo and Fecka and let them create something.
Jordan Morrell with a goal in the last game against Colorado Springs. He's back in the lineup at center back. We'll touch pass with Jimmy Ockford.
Jimmy Ockford and Jordan Morrell are building a pretty solid partnership. In the beginning of the season, it was tough to gain a solid back four, so Jimmy Ockford and Jordan Morrell have had a couple games together, and I think they're starting to develop that understanding. Yeah,
I think really for the first time all season, this is probably the healthiest Reno's back four has been when you've got Colby, Ockford, Morrell, and Richards again. Richards, a guy who would have been a starter, I think, from the very beginning of this season had he been healthy, and good to see him back and that knee recovered.
Oh, absolutely. It's very good to see him back. He's a hard-working player. He'll get up the field well, and he's going to defend with everything he has. Very good to see Brent Richards back.
So we're about 11 minutes deep into this contest. What do you think of the pace that's been set so far? Do you think Reno's doing what they want at this point in the game?
I think so. I think it's been a little difficult for both teams to find some rhythm, but both teams have had good chances so far. So I think it will start to settle in a little more. It's a little chippy right now, but I think Reno 1868 is starting to pick up the ball a little more and swinging it side to side.
Ockford gets his head in there and gets it up to Mafika, but then a whistle blown, and that will give the Sounders a set piece. Take another look and see what happened there as Paro was taken down. And it looked like you could see there where Ockford got his head on it, but you also saw where he kind of got his arm in there and gave a bit of a shove to Paro.
Yeah, he came in a little aggressively from the back. Now they'll look to defend this set piece. Something that's actually been a little bit of a worry for Reno 1868 this season. Yeah,
it certainly has, especially from the corners. We saw that in that Colorado Springs game. Here's Ray Sari, a 21-year-old from Kansas City. He's got 2 assists on the season for the Sounders.
Ray Sari is someone Seattle Sounders, the first team, will be very excited about. He looks like a good, solid center mid.
Back down to Sari. Mafika came up to contest. Rogers back to Sari. Sari gets into the box, headed and wide of the net. But another chance for the Sounders as they get a nice pass in there from Sari.
And it looks like he was actually offside.
So either way, Reno's set there, but certainly don't want to see somebody getting that wide open in front of your goalie.
No, absolutely not. The center backs are going to be able to have to check their shoulders and watch those runs. Players like Ramos, players like Olsen and Para, they're clever players. They're able to get in behind and able to make smart runs. So Reno 1868 will have to be wary of that.
More contact here. It looks like that one will go the way for Seattle. Greater Nevada Credit Union is the official sponsor of Greater Nevada Field. Absolutely beautiful night here tonight in downtown Reno. And while you hear Coors Light, whatever your mountain, climb on Coors Brewing Company. Golden, Colorado, great beer, great responsibility. Openo. Now Kelly.
What Reno 1868 did so well against Phoenix is they won the ball high up the field and transitioned quickly, so look for them to try and do that again.
Centered into the box, headed and wide from Kelly. Another chance there here early on for Dane Kelly.
He's looking dangerous. Only a matter of time before that starts to be on target and possibly the back of the net.
The USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com. And follow them on Twitter at USL. Mafeka sends it wide for Richards. Back to Mafeka, now Kasipli. Weehan touches out to LaGrassa.
Good combination to be able to switch play again from Reno 1868.
Kip Colby with the feed. Opano helps keep Reno possession. Looking for Kelly, and Sounders able to clear it away temporarily.
We saw this against Phoenix, but Mfeka is very good at not only with the ball, but defensively too. He's able to keep that press up, and he's able to win the ball high up the field.
Jimmy Ockford comes up and keeps it in the opposition half. Kasipli back to Kelly. Kelly right-footed strike and fielded cleanly by Brian Meredith.
After that hat trick against Phoenix Rising, it looks like Dan Kelly's confidence couldn't be higher, taking shots from everywhere. I like to see that. He's a very clinical finisher.
Broadcast tonight brought to you by Coors Light. What would we be without our mountains, without the things that push us further and call us higher? Whatever your mountain, climb on. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Greater beer, great responsibility. Brent Richards brings it up for Reno 1868. Back to Brian Meredith, making only his third start and goal this season. He's only allowed 2 goals, and he's recorded 9 saves in those 2 matches. Back to Kelly, Seth Kasipli, and it goes off the top of the cross. Oh boy, that was a close one. Seth Kasipli almost connected here in the 17th minute.
Oh, he's looking dangerous today, finding good pockets of space between the defense and midfield, and he was almost able to get that shot off.
Here's another look at it. Kasipli, beautiful shot on goal. I couldn't tell if Meredith maybe got his fingertips on it, but I think either way it was going to sail just a little bit too high.
Absolutely. Just look, it was right over the crossbar.
If you're Reno, I think you have to be excited about some of the chances, though, that they're getting in Seattle's half.
No, they're doing well. They're threatening Brian Meredith, and they're looking to find some shots in.
Reno 1868, Summer of Soccer 6-pack, the best partial. Dan Kelly strikes and diving stop by Meredith.
He's looking more and more dangerous as the game goes on. I count about 4 or 5 shots from him, and they're getting closer and closer.
Take one more look. Kelly creating his own chance here. Back to live action.
That's a good play to find Nanasinkum into space.
Here come the Sounders, trying to put together a counterattack, but booted away by Reno's back 4. Trying to say Reno 1868, Summer of Soccer 6-packs, best partial match plan for the 2017 season. Enjoy prime matches with an opportunity for giveaways throughout the summer. For more information, visit Reno1868FC.com.
Seattle's fullbacks are pushing pretty high up the field. We saw Nanasinkum get up there, and now Ulysses was able to get higher up the field. So we'll have to see players like Weehan and Kasipli be able to track those runs.
Rodriguez L.A. with the touch, sending it down, stolen away by Reno. Here's LaGrassa. And Brent Richards, 26-year-old from Portland, came up with the Portland Timbers. Actually, the very first homegrown player in Timbers history came through their academy. Had a chance of playing a couple MLS games with them back in 2012. A lot of experience for Reno. Kelly trying to catch up with that. Meredith using his head to get it out of danger.
That was smart reading from Brian Meredith. He saw the pass coming, he saw the run from Dane Kelly, and was able to get there before. Very good sweeping keeping.
Interestingly, Meredith, the 27-year-old, spent a couple seasons with the San Jose Earthquakes and actually got some playing time with them over those couple of years in the U.S. Open Cup.
He actually swapped places with Matt Bersano. Matt Bersano was with Seattle too last year, and now he's with San Jose and with Reno 1868, and Brian Meredith went the other way.
Interesting little wrinkle there is looks like Reno's got a player down on the field near the center. It looks like it's Dane Kelly slow to get up. Couldn't see what happened to Dane, but Reno's trainer's going to come out and take a look.
Reno 1868 would hope that everything's okay. I know he had a small little niggling injury in training, but he's too important of a player to pass out. He got the rest in Open Cup, and he seemed fit to play, but he should be okay. It looks like he just fell on his back.
Yeah, in 1868 already down one of their forwards, Brian Brown, working off of an injury. They do have Mac Pridham, who has seen a lot of playing time this year, so they would have someone to replace Kelly, but certainly don't want to lose your best goal scorer this early in the match.
No, especially with Brian Brown out. They actually are forming a pretty good partnership. Brian Brown will do a lot of the dirty work. He'll occupy defenders, he'll hold up the ball and give Dane Kelly that space. We saw that work very well against Phoenix Rising. But Openo is not a bad replacement. Having guys like Mackenzie Pridham off the bench is very good for Reno 1868. He's a very clinical striker. He scores goals, and having someone like that on the bench is huge.
No score, nothing here. 21 and a half minutes gone tonight. Seattle coming in a 3-match unbeaten streak. They've won 2 of those. Their last match a draw against the number 1 team in the table, San Antonio. That was a couple weeks ago.
Pretty poor giveaway from Lindo Mfeka, but he was able to get the foul and stop the counterattack.
That's something we're going to see a lot from Seattle. And really, it's kind of an MO for the organization. Seattle likes to play defensively. They like to counterattack, and especially on the road, you'd kind of expect them to sit back a little bit and try and get a lot of their opportunities on the counterattack, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. They know Reno 1868 is dangerous, pressuring high up the field and transitioning quickly. So they'll want to get numbers back. They'll want to protect their back four with their midfielders, and they'll want to counterattack quickly.
Here's a look down at the Seattle Sounders bench. Ezra Hendrickson. What a great career he had. 32 goals over 14 seasons in the MLS. Not only the head coach of Seattle Sounders, something we were talking about before the match, he's an assistant coach for his home nation, St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yeah, he's actually a bit of a legend over at St. Vincent and Grenadines. 123 appearances for a small nation like that doesn't participate in major tournaments like the World Cup or even CONCACAF Gold Cup. That is an astounding number of appearances. Very good career for Ezra Hendrickson.
And it looks like Zach Mathers is favoring his left ankle. Take one more look at what happened. Mfeka came in, looked like it clipped that left ankle, and he went down pretty hard. You can tell that got him really good. He was kind of screaming in agony there and still hobbling around at midfield. So guys starting to get dinged up here halfway through this first half.
I think it's one of those injuries where it hurts really bad for about 30 seconds or so, and then you're okay. You know, when you get a stud on the ankle, it's almost like stubbing your toe. It's concentrated in one area, and then you're fine.
It's one of those things that it looks like it doesn't hurt very much, but it certainly does.
Oh yeah, and a lot of people who don't know soccer well, they'll think they're faking the injury, and no, believe me, it hurts.
You take a good spike to the shin, and I think most people will have that reaction.
No, absolutely.
Seth Kasipley on the ball, sends it down to LaGrassa upfield for Kelly, trying to race it down. Sam Rogers able to beat him to it, gets it to Meredith.
The Seattle back four, they're moving the ball around well. They're able to ward off the pressure and then keep the ball instead of just trying to send it downfield.
Rogers boots it forward, the big strong right foot. Kip Colby trying to get out of the trouble, gives it right to the Sounders though.
Once again, too much space between defense and midfield, and Seattle Sounders were able to pick up the ball in a dangerous area.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple times where the Sounders have gotten the ball kind of in that middle third of the field, and we've seen them really have some quality looks from that spot.
Oh, absolutely, and that's the tough thing of playing in the diamond formation that Reno 1868 plays with. They try to get numbers up the field, but when that counterattack happens, or when there's a second ball just like that, Matt LaGrassa is kind of alone, and it's tough to cover all the ground that he has to do.
It kind of lends itself to you really can't afford making very many mistakes.
No, absolutely not. You have to be able to keep your lines tight. Matt LaGrassa will have a lot of work to do just covering for players like Kasipli and Weehan, and you'll have to be smart with it.
I think that's been one of the challenges really in the early goings for Reno. A lot of those little mistakes were exposed a lot in those first couple of matches, and it led to a lot of goals from the opposition. But over these last couple matches, that defense really has been tightened up.
Oh, they have, and I think a lot of it comes down to the regular back four. You have that center back partnership with Jordan Morell and Jimmy Ockford. Kind of what I like to think of it as a good cop, bad cop partnership, where Jimmy Ockford is, he's the tough tackling, strong in the air center back who will rough people up, and then Jordan Morell, he's the leader. He covers for Jimmy, and he marshals the back four, and he passes the ball well out of there.
Yeah, I know Ian Russell said when you're an exhibition team, it takes a while to get that camaraderie and get that cohesiveness, and it looks like it's starting to happen for this Reno 1860-18 in a couple of months now into this 2017 USL season.
And the important thing in a USL season is picking up form at the right time.
Yep.
In the beginning of the season, the results don't matter nearly as much as in September. You saw it in MLS last year with the Seattle Sounders first team. Struggled a lot in the first half of the season, and then were able to get a new manager and become a completely different team and actually win the MLS Cup.
It's a long season.
It is, very long season.
Still plenty of time for Reno to make some noise here in their inaugural season. Brad Richards.
Oh, that's a fantastic
finds
ball
Kelly,
for
and
Brad
Dane Kelly. Goal!
And that is a fantastic ball from Brent Richards. Lindo Infeka was able to find a pocket of space, play it out to Brent Richards, and Richards with that first-time ball through the defense. Dane Kelly was on it in the first-time finish.
I mean, he just could not have timed that pass any better.
Oh, no, that was brilliant.
Just past his sliding Sam Rogers, and Dane Kelly has done it again.
That's 54 USL career goals for Dane Kelly. He is on fire these past few weeks.
The electric Jamaican now is 6 for Reno here in this inaugural season, and that is a big jolt to this Greater Nevada field crowd.
Absolutely, and we'll see how Seattle can respond to that.
1-0 Reno here in the 28th minute. Fans want to remind you, you can stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 9 o'clock on Sirius XM FC, Channel 85.
Oh, very smart play from Chris Weehan, able to find that quick throw and find Hopino running through behind the defense.
Wow, Hopino taken down in the box, wanted to see a whistle. They did not give it to him, though, as play continues. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. Kelly coming in, trying to take one away from Sam Rogers, and a whistle blown. Ian Russell doesn't look like he's very happy with the sideline.
No, it was a bit of a soft foul. I don't blame Ian Russell for that reaction. On another win up the field from Lindo Mfeka. He adds a whole different dimension to this team. We're able to defend higher up the field, and Reno 1860 is able to win it higher and attack quickly, thanks to Lindo Mfeka.
Take one more look at what just happened here on that last foul, as they'll try and set the field here for Reno. Opano came in, and the Seattle defender just barreled him over, and so Antoine Opano, who was just taken down in the box, and they're going to cite a yellow card there on, I believe, was it Dento Ulysses?
It was Rodriguez L.A.
Was it
a bit reckless from L.A.
So yellow card now for Seattle as Reno continues to take possession.
Oh, good run
Antoine
from Opano.
Opano. Oh, he's taken down by the keeper, and they're going to blow the whistle this time. Penalty coming for Reno 1868.
It was a great run from Opano, and he was able to get that touch right before Brian Meredith. That touch was crucial, and Meredith just came across and swiped him with his palm.
Antoine Opano knows what to do with a situation like this. The 23-year-old from Paris, a lot of experience. Again, 69 career games in Major League Soccer with the Philadelphia Union, and during that time, 7 MLS goals, and we'll see if he can take advantage of what will be a chance here. Seattle not happy about it. They're arguing their case, but a penalty kick is coming up.
For someone who hasn't played forward this season, Antoine Opano is looking very dangerous running in behind the defense.
Looks like they're going to give it to Dane Kelly. Just scored 2 minutes ago. Kelly finds net again!
And a cool taken penalty from Dane Kelly. He shows his experience, he shows his composure in front of net, and just slots it to the bottom left of Brian Meredith.
When this guy's hot, he is hot. Dane Kelly, 2 goals in a 4-minute span, and Reno has a 2-0 lead. And now this Greater Nevada field crowd is getting wild.
Battleborn Brigade's really rocking. They deserve this after all the support they've given this season. It would be nice for them to see their first home win for Reno 1868.
So it was Opano taken down in the box, but Kelly taking the penalty kick, and he delivers. Goals 6 and 7 on the season. He's coming off of a hat-trick game against Phoenix.
And they're looking to win the ball high up the field and play quickly. Once again, this time Chris Weehan. He's very good in transition. Expect him to try and find people quickly.
Jimmy Hockford will escort that ball back to Matt Persano. Soccer fans, Nike, an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Persano boots it towards midfield.
Good win by Nana Sinkum, but Matt LaGrassa picks up the ball.
LaGrassa sends it down to Kasipli.
Oh, and another
Forward
good run
for
from
Opano.
Opano.
And he's taken down to the box again. And they're going to call another penalty.
Once again, another fantastic run from Opano. Seth Kasipli was able to find a lot of space in the midfield and was able to hit Opano through for another fantastic run. And it looks like possibly Dane Kelly can grab his hat trick in only the 34th minute.
Reno right now is on fire, and Seattle does not seem to have an answer in their defense against this Reno attack.
Ian Russell has to be very pleased with Opano. He's played in the midfield, play right back, now playing up top, and has created 2 penalties with his dangerous runs.
So here we go. Dane Kelly, a chance for a hat trick in consecutive games. Scored in the 28th minute. Scored just a few moments ago. Can Kelly make it 3 goals in about a 6-minute span? Waiting for the official signal.
It's always tough to take a penalty right after you just took one. We'll see if Dane Kelly will go the same way or a different way.
Here's Kelly. And he's got the hat trick! Dane Kelly has done it again! Back-to-back games, 3 goals for Kelly, and Reno jumps out to a commanding 3-0 lead.
Well, when you're hot, you're hot.
What an unbelievable 6-minute stretch for Reno 1868 and for Dane Kelly, the all-time leading scorer in USL history, who's got 3 goals to now make it 8 for this 2017 season.
They look like they'll want even more. Reno's doing a very good job keeping the ball, making dangerous runs. They'll have to be wary of that counterattack, though. They don't want to become complacent, because while it is unlikely, it's not unheard of to lose a 3-0 deficit.
This team is on fire right now. 4-0 win on the road in Phoenix for their first win in franchise history. And you come home and jump out to a 3-0 lead in the first half.
It was almost
wow.
It was almost as if 1868 was just looking for something to click. They looked good in their past games, but little errors cost them. And now the defense has tightened up. Their attack has looked more dangerous. And guys like Lindo and Feka and Dane Kelly have made a real difference to this team.
And it's not like they're doing this against a team that's at the bottom of the table. This Seattle team, again, a 3-match unbeaten streak. They come in 3rd place in the Western Conference.
Well, Seattle's a dangerous team, and Phoenix before was a dangerous team too. There's no easy games in the USL. It could go either way. You'll see a team lose one week and then win the next, but it looks like Reno 1868 is starting to build that momentum to make for a successful season.
Here's Richard sending it down towards Opano.
They keep finding him behind the defense.
Kasipli.
Oh, it was almost something spectacular there with a little flick from Chris Wehan.
Not over yet. Kelly sends it wide for Kip Colby. Mafika back to Colby. Taken down. LaGrassa sends it over. Won't blow the whistle. Now they do. LaGrassa trying to send it wide for Kasipli, and a whistle blown will give Reno a set piece here in the first half after already tallying 3 goals.
One of those cases where the ref gives a slight advantage, but then sees the advantage isn't on and then comes back and calls the free kick.
I mean, they might have been able to call the whistle when they took down Colby, and then when they took down LaGrassa too. I think the ref had seen enough.
Oh, absolutely. At that point, too many late tackles and fouls. Seattle are going to have to watch that. Already given up 2 penalties just this half alone.
Close to a third there. That was not far outside the box.
No, and it's shooting range. We'll see who wants to take it. Looks like Seth Kasipla is looking at it, but I wouldn't be surprised if Chris Wehan takes it.
Wehan, a little bit wide on the strike.
He catches Brian Merritt that's cheating towards the wall side and tries to put him keeper side, and it was almost there.
So Reno will have to settle for their 3 goals at this point. But again, Ian Russell has got to be elated with the way his team has come out here in the first half. They have played almost a flawless first half against Seattle.
Oh, he has to be absolutely ecstatic with the way Reno 1868 have come out today. They've looked sharp. They've looked to attack quickly. I think that's a big difference maker for them. After the Orange County game, I think they started to sit back a little more because they got caught up too far upfield, and they started to get a little concerned with leaving too much space. But we saw a different change in momentum in the Phoenix game. We saw them press higher up the field. We saw them win the ball in Phoenix, and now Seattle Sounders half, and it's paying dividends.
Antoine Opano again taken down. And this time, no whistle. Looked like he was pulled down from behind.
Oh, a great win for Matt LaGrassa to keep the pressure on.
LaGrassa sent it out to Kelly, but Kelly can't keep it. Seattle sending it back towards midfield very quickly. Looking to try and counter here. Bersano has to step up and able to pull it away from Irvin Parra before he can get a touch on it.
Yeah, a little run from Parra. He was supposed to be the danger man, but we haven't seen much of him today.
Greater Nevada Credit Union is the official sponsor of Greater Nevada Fields. This beautiful two-sport venue just wrapped up along Reno Aces homestand, and now a chance for Reno 1868 to get some time here over the next week. They'll play tonight, and then, of course, next Wednesday as well when Tulsa comes to town. So looking forward getting a couple matches in 1 week here.
Yeah, just a few days apart. They'll need to be able to get some rest this weekend so they can come out and play Tulsa, which, again, is another very good team.
3-0 Reno, the hat trick from Dane Kelly, USL Player of the Week after his match against Phoenix, and could very well be on his way to another league nod after this first half performance here tonight.
He might be shooting for May's Player of the Month at this point.
Not sure you could find someone that's hotter than that guy right now.
Oh, absolutely not.
And it's not just Kelly. There are some really good opportunities that are being created in the midfield, and I think seeing guys like Brent Richards, you see what kind of impact he can make, especially in the passing side of things, and as well, Lindo Mfeka,
yes.
Mfeka, we talked about him before the broadcast. He's one of the most accurate passers the USL has seen this year.
Oh, and just one game, but 93.9% possession from a number 10 position, a center attacking mid, is almost unheard of. You'll see that sometimes with center backs or defensive mids, but someone who's playing that high up the field, who's making passes to forwards and not just to their outside backs, to get 93% passing percentage is phenomenal.
So definitely an exciting product on the field here tonight as LaGrassa gets a little chippy with Mathers, and they're going to blow a whistle now on LaGrassa.
Well done for Mathers to earn the foul there.
Battleborn Brigade, this is what they've been waiting for. They've been to a couple home matches, and they've seen nothing but draws and losses. They want to see 3 points come across tonight.
And I think today will be the day. I mean, they're unlucky to see it, like we've talked about against Colorado Springs with that 91st minute equalizer, but it'll be hard for Seattle to come back from this.
It'll be the 23-year-old Zach Mathers from Fort Worth, Texas, with the set piece here.
Zach Mathers actually has a first-team contract with Seattle Sounders. He's a very dangerous player.
Had a couple appearances in the U.S. Open with the first team last year. Gets into the box.
Oh, dangerous ball in, and it looks like it looks like Irvin Parra who came with that run, or was it Ulysses?
Yeah, it's hard to tell these numbers sometimes. We don't see the Seattle team enough to recognize them by face, and the jersey number is a little hard to tell here this evening at Greater Nevada Field.
But a dangerous ball from Mathers. Reno 1860 will want to be able to track those runs because it almost slipped in between two defenders for Seattle to head home.
Here's Richard sending it back for Jimmy Oxford. Now Jordan Morrell, you said they've got the good cop, bad cop combo back there.
Yeah, and Jordan Morrell's a real leader. You can look at him. He's constantly marshaling his defense, constantly putting players into position. That's important to have in this team.
Kasipli.
Oh, another fantastic ball over the top from Kasipli. And Lindo Mfeka tries to find Dan Kelly. Openo keeps up the pressure.
Mfeka. Lindo Mfeka delivers his first goal. Lindo Mfeka, the South African, makes it 4-0.
And that's all Openo, keeping up the pressure, winning the ball back in the box, and Lindo Mfeka was able to pick up the ball and coolly finish past Brian Meredith, sends him the wrong way, and tucks it away.
Mfeka with his left foot.
San Jose have to be excited about this product. He looks like a very, very dangerous player.
And he is a guy that is under contract with the first team with the San Jose Earthquakes. And here on a loan, and this is his second game in a Reno 1868 uniform. And we talked about it before the broadcast. This guy has been a real game changer for this team.
Oh, he's a very dynamic player. He hardly loses the ball. He has that low center of gravity where he can ride tackles, he can get away from them, and he can protect the ball well and retain possession. But also looks dangerous in front of goal. It was a fantastic finish from Lindo Mfeka.
Final seconds of regulation here in the first half after what has been the best half in Reno 1868 history. 4 first-half goals against the Seattle Sounders, who, again, it just does not seem like they have got much of an answer for Reno's attack.
Oh, no, it doesn't seem like their day. A couple good chances, but what matters is the scoreline, and Reno 1868 was able to put their chances away.
Here's Seth Kasipli.
Oh, did well to skip past him.
Here's Brent Richards now. Fancy footwork from Richards, back to Kasipli. Matt LaGrassa holds on to it for Reno, sends it wide for Kip Colby.
What I like about Kip Colby is a lot of right-footed outside backs that have to play left back. They're timid to go carry the ball up the field, but not Kip Colby. He brings the ball up the field well. He overlaps, and he's dangerous in the attack as well as the defense.
Not a lot of chances for Seattle here in this first half. They did have a few opportunities on goal against Bersano. Couple misses. But the storyline has been Reno's offensive onslaught with 3 goals from Dane Kelly and 1 from Lindo Mfeka.
Hendrickson has to be disappointed. David Olson, Irvin Parra haven't been able to see much of the ball. Those are the 2 danger men for Seattle, and he'd like for them to be able to get the ball in dangerous positions, but Reno, it's been all 1868.
Kip Colby. Openo trying to find an opening for Wehan and just couldn't quite time it, but another chance here for Reno during stoppage time.
We saw it before with some of the goals, but the one-touch passing has been very dangerous for Reno 1868. They're moving the ball well. Ian Russell's a big fan of combination plays. You'll see it in training. He wants his players to move the ball quickly and find each other.
Meredith will send it to the other side of the field, headed back by Richards. Trying to find Parra, but taken away by Ockford. Here's Matt LaGrassa now. Sends it to the top of the field for Kip Colby. Now Jordan Morrell. Reno content to hold possession here, maybe take it into the half here.
Yeah, it looks like Seattle are trying to sit back a little more, maybe come up with a new game plan at halftime.
Very reminiscent of when you're watching football and you see a team just taking a knee before the end of the half. That's kind of what Reno's doing here in the final minutes of stoppage time, and that will take us to the end of the first half, and a historic one it was for Reno 1868. 4-0, their advantage on the Seattle Sounders. We'll step aside for halftime, come back with the highlights from that first half, and get you some more soccer action from downtown Reno. You're watching United Soccer League action right here on My21 TV. Hey everybody, I'm Alex Margulies, broadcaster for Reno 1868 Football Club, joined by General Manager Andy Smith. We're hanging out here at Greater Nevada Field. Andy, what a great start this franchise has been off to, and last week you guys got your first win, 4-0 over the Phoenix Rising. How exciting was it to finally see that first win come across the board?
I mean, it was the monkey off the back, right? It was exciting for the fans. We had a watch party. I think everyone was going insane. To do it in that manner, 4-0 away to a team that, has some great players on the field and on paper, you couldn't ask for much more.
You've been involved in this process from the very beginning. When Ian Russell got here, you guys working together to put together this roster. How satisfying was it now to start seeing some of these pieces come together and starting to fit?
I mean, it's definitely very cool. We've got guys who've been frustrated with some of the early results, and to see them finally come home and excited about the result that we finally got was pretty sweet. Ian, I felt best for him. He's been working really hard, and we've had a lot of injuries that we've been dealing with, and to finally get that result obviously feels good for everybody.
I have to say, I think the atmosphere here at Greater Nevada Field for an exhibition team has just been fantastic. The fans here in Northern Nevada and beyond have really taken to this franchise. What's it been like for you watching people walk around the concourse and being here in the Battleborn Brigade? I mean, it's been a lot of fun.
Well, it's a proud feeling when you're here and you work so hard day and night for such a long period of time to get this ready for this market. Obviously, the Battleborn is the highlight of the show, besides what's happening on the field. But just the excitement, the energy that this crowd brings. It's a very different experience for this town, for this city. So to watch it all come together as well as it has, we're all very proud and very excited.
Now, the Battleborn Brigade, I mean, they're doing it up. They're starting at the bars down the street. They're marching through town, coming with their megaphones and their drums. What have people been telling you about that side of the experience and being part of the Battleborn Brigade?
Well, I think it's a unique thing, right? So it's not new now to soccer. Every market has that. But to see it happen and to happen organically is very cool. So, we're happy with how well it's working for them. We try as much as we can to help facilitate whatever they need. But the Battleborn, they are the backbone of this organization, along with our season ticket holders, and it's just been exciting.
Pretty neat, Andy. You guys announced earlier this week you have got a friendly with a Mexican side team, Atlas, a great team from down below the border. How excited are you to have them come play here at Greater Nevada Field?
I mean, Atlas is a big club. There's a huge Mexican community here in Reno. It's awesome for us to be able to facilitate that sort of event for that market, for them to come out, obviously for our fans as well, to take on such a marquee name as Atlas from Mexico. It's going to be a big test for our players.
All right, Reno 1868 General Manager Andy Smith, really appreciate your time.
Enjoyed it. Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it.
Since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
The CONCACAF Gold Cup kicks off in July with Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, hosting the U.S. men's national team versus Martinique on July 12th.
I've been in many stadiums in the United States throughout my career, and there's not a finer venue than Raymond James. So I think I can say on behalf of CONCACAF and U.S. Soccer, we're thrilled to be coming here in July, and it's going to be an exciting time.
Coach Arena and the Cup finished the day with a visit to the USL corporate offices in Tampa.
The growth of the sport in our country has grown tremendously. Everywhere in the United States, you can find a soccer club, and that's obviously is attributed to the growth of USL as well as Major League Soccer. So the sport in our country has grown tremendously, and we should be real proud of where we are in 2017.
For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
Nevada Fields, welcome back to our United Soccer League broadcast after a wild first half alongside our new color analyst, Colin Tabor. I'm Alex Margulies. Colin, what a half for Reno 1868. Again, this is what the fans have really been waiting for, this kind of offensive onslaught. And let's go ahead and take a look at those first half highlights. And early on, Brian Meredith able to come away with a big save against Dane Kelly, but the rest of the way, this Reno offense was just firing.
Oh, absolutely. They were able to get behind Seattle's defense again and again and able to get those chances to put them 4-0 up.
Great ball from Brent Richards, making his first start in the USL with a perfect feed up to Dane Kelly with a right-footed finish in the 28th minute, and that would get Reno 1868 on the board. But then, just minutes later, Antoine Opado was taken down in the box, and Dane Kelly would step up and drives one into the right side of the net, or left side rather, and that would put Reno on top by a 2-0 score. But Kelly wasn't done. The hat trick, as he's able to fool Meredith, and Dane Kelly, the Jamaican, for the second consecutive game, tallying a hat trick. What an unbelievable first half performance from him. He now has 8 goals on the season, and then it was Lindo Mfeka, the newcomer from South Africa, just joined the team last week in Phoenix, and he drives one into the back of the net after Antoine Opado did a great job keeping that play alive.
And Opano's been dangerous. He won both the penalties, kept that play alive. He's doing very well in that striker position.
Once again, a 4-0 halftime score. And Colin, if you're Reno, do you change anything here in the second half? I mean, I know you want to continue to play aggressively, and I guess there's really no threat, I guess, if you do play aggressively, or do you expect Reno maybe back off a little bit and try and protect this 4-0 lead?
I don't think they'll back out and park the bus, as they say in soccer, and sit back a lot. But I don't think they'll play super aggressively. They'll try to control the game, see out the next 45, and hopefully get a clean sheet for Matt Persano, honestly. I think at this point, the focus is on controlling the game.
Yeah, and I think the goal now, it's not necessarily racking up more goals. It's keeping that clean sheet, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. The clean sheet's more important at this point, but Reno 1868 could look for a couple more goals. Seattle's giving them that space and behind the defense.
Reno coming off of a 4-0 victory in Phoenix last week, and then a win earlier this week in the U.S. Open Cup. Now trying to make it 3 in a row. Technically, only 2 wins will count in the United Soccer League, but this early in the season, after starting the season with a couple draws and 3 losses, it would certainly feel good to get back-to-back wins and get this home crowd their first ever victory.
Oh, absolutely. It was a pretty poor start for Reno. They'll be ecstatic to be able to finish out with 2 wins in a row and see what they could do next Wednesday against Tulsa Roughnecks.
Colin, you've seen this team play now for the entire season, and what do you think the difference has been? I mean, you go and you get the 4-0 win in Phoenix. You win. You're up right now 4-0 here. What has been the key to this kind of early season turnaround for this team?
I think a big key has been winning the ball high up the field. I think players like Chris Weehan, like Lindo Mfeka, and now Antoine Opano have been very good at winning the ball higher up the field and being able to transition. I think Reno struggled before winning the ball further back. They had trouble getting through the midfield and finding guys like Dane Kelly through on goal or Antoine Openo. So they're able to catch Seattle while they're unorganized and able to play the ball quickly and get in behind. So I think that's been a real key for them.
Here's a look at the starting 11 from Reno 1868. Matt Persano, the keeper in the middle there in the yellow jersey. Along with him, Dane Kelly, Antoine Openo, Chris Weehan, Matt LaGrassa, Lindo Mfeka, Seth Kasipli, Kip Colby, Jimmy Ockford, Jordan Morrell, and Brent Richards. And yeah, that's kind of how it's going tonight here at Greater Nevada Field. Battleborn Brigade, these guys are having a ball tonight.
Oh, yeah, they are. And players on the field, when you saw them zoom in, all smiles from Matt LaGrassa and Brent Richards. They're feeling really good about this.
Trying to figure out what that guy's got in his left hand. Was it like a chicken tender? Was he dancing, drumming, and munching on a chicken tender all in one motion?
Oh, looks like he's having a great time out here tonight.
Yeah, really good crowd here tonight, and why not? Perfect weather here this evening in Northern Nevada. And
looks like we actually have a change for Reno. It looks like Dane Kelly is out, and Mbakwe Yamba is playing up top. So his first game, he played the Open Cup, scored a goal actually. Nice finish from a left-footed volley. So his first game in USL.
So that's exciting. Get a chance to see the young 20-year-old for the first time here at home. He did play in the U.S. Open Cup and got a goal in that match. Dembakwe, they call him Boxy. That's his nickname,
right? Boxy, yep. Boxy's his nickname. Good, strong finisher, powerful, quick. Expect him to try and make a name for himself on his USL debut.
We'll get a look at the 20-year-old from Atlanta, Georgia. Came out of Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, he was with Atletico Madrid's academy, played for U.S. Youth National Team for a little bit. Good pedigree for such a young player.
It'll be exciting to watch here in the second half as the two teams trade sides. And it'll be tough for Reno to back up that first half, but we'll see how they finish here in the final 45 minutes of this one. There is a substitution as well for the Seattle Sounders as Riley Grant will take over for Lorenzo Ramos.
Looks like they're actually trying to tighten up that defense, taking a winger out, bringing in a left back, sometimes plays center back, so it looks like Seattle is trying to do some damage control at this point.
Our substitutions brought to you by the Les Schwab Tire Center. Those goals for Reno came at the 28th, 32nd, and 35th minutes by Kelly, and then Mfeka at the 44th minute. So those first three goals, all within a 7-minute span.
Oh, it was a great 7 minutes for Reno 1868. They were able to expose Seattle again and again. Honestly, I think Seattle can be pretty disappointed with their organization. I think they didn't pressure well enough in the midfield, and they had too high of a line. So guys like Kasiple were able to get those through balls in without pressure, and guys like Openo and Dan Kelly were able to make those runs. Looks like they're sitting back more, which I expected from them from the very beginning, but looks like they have 5 across the back now.
And Mfeka will send it down for Kip Colby, but too far out of his reach, and that will give Seattle the possession here after the first couple minutes of play. Throw-in coming from Denzo Ulysses, just 19 years old, out of the country of Haiti. Made his debut back on April the 25th for S2. Very talented player for this club. And it's interesting when you see a team like the Seattle Sounders as opposed to, say, Colorado Springs. Colorado Springs, no affiliation, and so you're going to see a lot of veteran, older players and kind of a mixed bag of where guys have come from, as here's Boxy and trying to center it, and did he get it? Yes, he did. Seth Kasipli will bury the cross from Boxy Yumba, and it's 5-0 Reno.
Oh, it's a great cross from Boxy Yamba, able to put that chip ball to Seth Kasipli all alone in the far post. Seattle once again should be disappointed with their organization in the back. Move to 5 in the back, and Seth Kasipli is still able to find acres of space on the 6.
Yeah, I really wasn't sure if that cross from Yumba was going to stay in there. I mean, he popped it up so much, and it was so much hugging that back line. Didn't think it was going to stay in, but it just barely did, and Kasipli knew what to do with it. His very first USL goal, and that's got to feel good here in his first start.
Oh, it's got to feel very good for him. He's putting out a good outing today. Couple good through balls, dictated play well, and now he's got a goal.
Look down at this Reno bench. 5-0 lead here tonight at Greater Nevada Fields. Sounders trying to push it the other way. So it's kind of starting to talk a little bit about just kind of organizational differences when you look at a team like the Seattle Sounders as opposed to, as again, Colorado Springs. It's not an affiliated team, so you're going to have an older team, kind of a mixed bag, guys from all over the place. The Seattle Sounders, almost the entire roster is either guys that came through their academy or they're guys that are playing down from the first club.
Oh, absolutely. It's a very young team. You'll see that about half the teams in this league are full affiliates. So you'll see them try to test out the kids, give them experience against more adults, guys like Jimmy Ockford and Jordan Morel and Antoine Opino. It's good experience for the Seattle kids. They're able to play in a professional league that matters.
And sometimes you're going to have nights like this where you're going to take your lumps with a young team that isn't nearly as experienced as a lot of the guys. I mean, look at a guy like Antoine Opino. Like I said, he's played in 69 MLS games. And you go against maybe someone like Sam Rogers, who's super talented, but he just turned 18 on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's a good learning experience for them. That's how they can look at this. I mean, how they respond to this will show what kind of character they have.
Greater Nevada Credit Union, the official sponsor of Greater Nevada Fields. Glad to have you here tonight. Couple minutes down here in the second half as Reno pushes it back the other way. Here's Kip Colby.
On a good overlap from Chris Weehan. He's able to find him.
Weehan puts on the brakes, sends it back to Colby. Can't hold on to it, slides to keep it in control. Colby racing up and kicked away. Nice job there defensively by the Sounders to keep that one out of trouble, but they're not out of it just yet. Opino takes a little left-footed tap there, not enough, as Brian Meredith will come up and take it away.
It's almost been a running theme today for Reno 1868. Even if they take a heavy touch or lose the ball, they win the ball right away and are able to keep up that pressure.
By the way, I mentioned the fact that Dane Kelly sitting here in the second half in favor of Boxy Yumba, and our cameraman has spotted the fact that he is wrapping his arm, or his arm is wrapped up on the sideline. We did see him take a spill in the first half early where he was kind of favoring his back a little bit, but maybe something to do with his arm or his shoulder, and getting a chance maybe to ice it up and rest here for the rest of this match with Reno holding this commanding 5-0 advantage.
At this point, it could very well be precautionary. Make sure that he's all set for Wednesday, because Reno 1868 are gonna need his goals, especially how on fire he's been the last two games.
Well, and Reno's in the midst of what's going to be a very busy stretch. Not only play in the USL, but also trying to continue in the US Open Cup.
Oh yeah, they have a big derby match coming up May 31st against Sac Republic. That'll be a good game to be able to show and possibly get an outing against an MLS team in Real Salt Lake.
Yeah, that's really exciting. So next Wednesday they'll play Tulsa, and then the following Saturday they'll be on the road in Colorado Springs. But then just a few days after that in Sacramento, playing Sac Republic for the first time in a non-USL match. Again, this is the Lamar US Open Cup, which pits soccer teams from every level of professional soccer in the United States. And it's a really, really neat opportunity because, like you said, Reno wins that match against Sac Republic. They are going to host RSL. They're going to host Salt Lake, and we're not talking about their USL team. We're talking about the MLS, Major League Soccer, Real Salt Lake coming to Greater Nevada Field for a match if they can beat Sacramento.
Oh, it would be a huge opportunity for some of these guys who haven't played MLS and just be able to show their stuff against guys who do play at the highest level in the U.S. And for that game against Sac Republic, I expect actually both teams to rest players, kind of play a almost second team midweek game. Sac Republic also has a hectic schedule coming up. So it'll be a good opportunity for guys. And after the midweek Open Cup game, they gave chances to guys like Boxy Yamba, Seth Kasipli, and they were able to get fitness for Brent Richards, who played 120 minutes Wednesday despite not playing all season due to injury.
Some nice ball work there. Mafeka looking to get it in for Opano, and saved away by the Sounders.
Sam Rogers, who goes down, he looks okay.
Fans, you can stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays, 9 o'clock Eastern PM, that is, on Sirius XM FC, Channel 85. Also, don't forget Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times.
Looks like we have a substitution. Zach Mathers is coming out for Javorn Stevens.
So Mathers out, Stevens in, and that substitution brought to you by our Les Schwab Tire Center. Reno 4 goals in the first half, a 5th one coming from the youngster, the assist rather from the youngster Boxy Yumba and Seth Kasipli in the 48th minute to give Reno this 5-0 advantage. Here's Kip Colby, native of New Zealand. Actually has had a chance to play for his home country, the All Whites, in international play.
Yeah, he's had a few appearances recently. I mean, New Zealand is a strong team. They dominate the Oceania Conference, and that's great for Kip Colby. Huge international exposure, and he has a possibility of playing in a future World Cup, especially with them moving to a 40. However many that they're expanding the teams in the World Cup, and teams like New Zealand have to be licking their lips at that, and guys like Kip Colby have that chance to play at the world's biggest stage.
Well, especially again in the region of the world they play in, they're not going to see very stiff competition. I mean, there's no Brazil or France or Germany or any of these big heavyweights down in that region of the world to compete with New Zealand.
No, absolutely not. It's a different story playing against teams like Fiji and Tahiti to going and playing, and you'll see that when they'll have a World Cup playoff round, and they'll ease their way through and then have to play a team like Mexico.
Colby also a member of the San Jose Earthquakes roster. He is here as a loanee. Antoine Opano taking a shot on goal, but wide of Brian Meredith.
Oh, looks like it took a deflection. Reno 1868 will have a corner.
Coors Light reminds you to celebrate every climb safely. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Great beer, great responsibility. So we'll see if Reno can tack on here. Chris Wehan, really, really good college career at New Mexico. 31 goals and 9 assists during his time with the Lobos. With his right foot, centers it into the box, headed, and too high for Brent Richards. Got his noggin on it, but couldn't control it, as it will remain 5-0 here in the 57th minute. Here's a look at Dane Kelly getting some much-deserved R&R here in the second half. What a first half for Kelly, his second consecutive hat trick.
Yeah, he's been on fire the last 2 games, and now he can sit back and enjoy the show.
Pretty amazing the type of USL career that Kelly has had, with 57 goals now over 6 seasons, and you wonder what's it going to take for him to get an opportunity with an MLS club.
It really is astounding. He hasn't gotten that opportunity yet. He's shown to score in a few different teams. I mean, has a great record with Charleston Battery, and now here with Reno 1868. I mean, MLS team, he has to be an MLS team's radar.
Yeah, he was great with Charleston in 2015. Last year with Swope Park. Went all the way to the championship with them last year, and he was the very first player that Ian Russell went out and signed. And boy, what a talented player to be able to sign for an exhibition, for an expansion team, to get a guy like Dane Kelly, who, again, is the all-time leading scorer in USL history.
I mean, it was a huge statement of intent from Reno 1868. That's the kind of player you can build a franchise around.
Junior Burgos will enter the contest, taking over for Lindo Mfeka, and we've seen a lot from Burgos this year, another talented player that fits perfectly as that number 10.
Oh, he's the old school number 10. He'll want to get the ball. He'll want to spray it around the field, and he'll want to take people on. And he loves to shoot from distance, so expect, if he has some space, expect him to pop one.
There's Burgos getting ready to check in.
He's a guy with so much ability, especially from set pieces.
Yeah, we saw that earlier this year. First ever goal here at Greater Nevada Field came on a set piece from Burgos on a headed ball. I believe it was Brenton Griffiths had the header that night.
His corners deliveries they're very dangerous. They're flat, they're driven, and anyone just needs to get a touch on it, and it's going in the back of the net.
Soccer fans, Nike, an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Well, really, this should be a chance here in the final 30 minutes for Reno to start adding more and more substitutions. I think you want to start seeing maybe those second-team guys, second-string guys on this club get some playing time and really maybe an opportunity for guys that don't see the field very often to get out there and get some work here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Guys like Boxayama is getting his first game. I mean, now with the second substitution, bring in a veteran like Junior Burgos, but it's good to get him some playing time. It's good for him to be able to stake his claim, to be able to regain his spot in the starting 11 because he's a very talented player.
Well, I'd imagine as the season goes on, Mfeka maybe stays with San Jose some weeks, and maybe it is Junior Burgos who's going to get that call as the attacking mid. And again, we've seen him play that role very well for Reno so far this season.
With the 2 games Mfeka has, there's no way that he's not on San Jose's radar right now. They'll be very pleased with the way he's been playing, and he could look like a real difference maker. Oh, Boxayama takes the ball, but Opino was there, miles of space. He needs to pick his head up right there, but you can't blame him for wanting to get his first USL goal.
Well, and you can see some of the speed that he brings to the table. He got from 0 to 60 pretty quick there.
Oh, absolutely. And he's a strong guy. He was able to hold off that challenge and make that space for himself to be able to take the shot.
Yomba had the assist again earlier in this half on a beautiful cross. Really, that was a quality play from the left side of the goal, crossing over and setting up Seth Kasipli, who did not miss, buried it in the back of the net for Reno's 5th goal of the night.
Oh, he made the job easy for Kasipli. He was waiting there on the edge of the 6 in the far post, and Boxayama put a nice, easy ball in for him to just tap home.
Throw-in goes to Brian at Nana Sinkum.
Nana Sinkum makes a good run here, cuts past Jordan Morel.
Ulysses trying to center it. Sorry. Running out of room in the box, being guarded by Colby.
He does well to keep possession.
Back to Irvin Parra. And Sounders will gather themselves again and try and make a stab at this. They have not had very many opportunities in this game. It really feels like Reno's had possession about 80% of the time. I know that's not exactly how long it's been. It just feels like it.
Oh, this game's been all Reno 1868, and even when Seattle has had possession, it's been in their own half.
A little shoving there as Colby is shoved to the ground. Javorn Stevens, the substitution out of Antigua, getting involved in the box there.
Actually an international player for Antigua, despite his young age.
A lot of talent on both sides of the field, a lot of international experience. You have a guy, like we talked about, Junior Burgos. He has played with El Salvador, actually scored a goal for them in a recent win over Honduras back in April.
And, I mean, guys on Seattle, too, like we talked about with Stevens, and then also Narbonne. He's a Panama international.
Yeah, a lot of guys on this Sounders team playing internationally for Cameroon. Rodriguez L.A., one of those guys. Reno trying to set something up here in the 63rd minute. Jordan Morrell up to Kip Colby. Here's Kasipley. Back to LaGrassa. Brent Richards.
Does well to get past his man.
Richards able to center, but it's cleared away in the box by Sam Rogers.
Fires a good, hard, low cross into that near post. Looks like Reno's going to be making their third substitution early. It's the new guy, Luis Fernandez. Just signed with the team last week. We'll see how Junior Burgos puts this corner in, though.
Burgos, pretty good looking ball. And it was Yomba who had a chance with the header, but couldn't square it up as it squirted away.
And Matt
for a wasted opportunity.
Matt LaGrosse is pretty upset because he had a clear run up. But no way Yomba could have known that. He wanted it.
Both of those two trying to get their first goal of the year. It seems like this is the night. If you want to score, it feels like this is the game for Reno 1868. They've got the 5 goals, but they have had a number of other chances as well.
Oh, and guys like Kasipli and Yomba, or excuse me, Mfeka were able to open their USL accounts, get some goals, and it looks like others are trying to get in on the action.
So we will see a substitution here for Reno as Brent Richards will head to the bench. And our first look at Luis Felipe Fernandez of Brazilian descent, born in New York. And again, like you mentioned, just signed last week. He was a rising star in the NASL last year with Fort Lauderdale. Led that team in minutes, and he was considered for the Young Player of the Year in the NASL. Did not win that, but he was up for consideration.
Oh, yeah, he got nominated. He's a strong, powerful box-to-box player. It looks like, actually, Matt LaGrossa will move to right back, and he will play in the 6. He's good on the ball. He's powerful, and he'll like to shoot from distance if he's able to get that opportunity.
Antoine Opino trying to set up Chris Wehan, and it was just out of his reach as it'll head back towards the keeper, Brian Meredith.
Yeah, smart little ball from Opino with the reverse pass, hips facing one way, and tries to slide Wehan through the other way.
Coors Light reminds you that every climb deserves a refreshing finish, and every night deserves a safe ending. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Greater beer, great responsibility.
Good ball by Narbonne to find Riley Grant in some space.
Knocked away.
And it looks like a corner for Seattle.
Haven't had many of those tonight. In fact, this will be their first. And it's going to be Ray Sari who will set it up in the far corner.
Some tall guys out there. Riley Grant, David Olson.
Sam Rogers.
Sam Rogers.
Coming up from the center back spot. See if he can connect with one of them. There's the header, and too high. It looked like it was Para who was able to get to it, but couldn't control it as it goes on top of the net. Here's another look.
Yeah, it looks like Irvin Para was able to find some space and get a free header.
Positioned himself around Kip Colby. Got his head in there, but could not keep it in play. And a goal kick coming up for Bersano. USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. You can stay up to date with the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com. You can also follow them on Twitter at USL. Alex Margulies and Colin Tabor with you here tonight from Greater Nevada Fields. Pleasure to have you aboard on our broadcast, whether you're watching online via YouTube or uslsoccer.com or here locally over the airwaves on My21 TV. having some fun here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. It's a beautiful day for some soccer. Reno 1868 is really showing out well tonight, and they might be going out for some more.
Chance for their very first win in franchise history in this stadium.
Oh.
And you bet the bars are going to be hopping tonight with the Battleborn Brigade if this one finishes the way that it looks like it's going to go.
Oh, absolutely. And it's a huge statement of intent from Ian Russell and Reno 1868 to be able to win their last 2 games so handily will show that the league that they mean business.
Some momentum certainly brewing with this Reno 1868 club. Kasipley able to keep possession for Reno, sends it back to Opano. Back to Jordan Morrell. Here's Junior Burgos. Quick touch pass, Weehan to Colby, and then Colby taken down to the grass as it goes out of bounds. No whistle as the throw-in will be taken by Denzo Ulysses. Matt LaGrassa back to Seth Kasipley, Rockland, California native, just outside of Sacramento.
And that's a good ball from Kasipley, able to find Boxy Yamba in some space in the box, puts another good cross in.
Yamba gave it a good shot there. Meredith with a good save. Almost had his first professional goal here in the United Soccer League. Certainly been an active player here in the second half in his USL debut.
Oh, he's shown well. There was concern about strikers off the bench with Brian Brown being injured, but Antoine Opano has played a fantastic game, and now Boxy Yamba's been dangerous.
Here comes Matt LaGrassa.
Oh, and Yamba almost wanted him to cut it back a little more, but LaGrassa couldn't quite get around it.
Fernandez gets his chest in front of it, gets it to Kasipley. Seth Kasipley. Wide for LaGrassa, takes a shot at it, and Meredith able to take it away with 2 hands, and he is just beside himself with his defense. Brian Meredith has been under siege from about midway through the first half on.
Oh, he's had a tough game for Brian Meredith today. You can't really point fingers at any of the goals for him. He's had to deal with a lot, so it's understandable that he is a little irate out there. Oh, nice little flick from Kip Colby. A good one, too, with Chris Weehan. We can see what sometimes the struggle of playing in a baseball stadium is. The grounds crew didn't have a lot of time to put down that saw, and it is a little slippery out there.
Yeah, they do such a magnificent job converting this field, but like you said, it's not going to be perfect.
Oh, time-wise, it's tough, but they do a very good job. Given the amount of time they had. Reno Aces, the baseball team, was just here on Thursday.
Yeah, just a 24-hour window, really. Maybe 36 hours, I guess, window to try and convert this thing back to a soccer pitch.
You got to commend the grounds crew for everything they do. Luis Felipe Fernandez is looking pretty comfortable out there, kind of dictating play. Fortunately, a little too far for Kip Colby.
Fans, you can learn the beautiful game from your very own Reno 1868 players. Sign up for 1868 FC's inaugural season summer camps and elite training. It starts at only $199 per child. You can learn more at Reno1868.com. Looks like a little ice for Brent Richards. He had missed all of the USL season up to this point with a knee injury, so good to see him get a full half in tonight and maybe a little bit more, and now chance to ice up that knee after really a great performance, which included an assist on the first goal back in the 28th minute to Dane Kelly.
Oh, absolutely. He should be proud of his performance after going Wednesday to Seattle and playing 120 minutes in the Open Cup match. Actually scored a penalty in the shootout with his left foot. He when he was recovering from his knee injury,
Oh, Chris Weehan.
Oh, good shot from Weehan.
Did a good job getting into the center of the box and put a good right-footed strike on that one, but it was just a little bit too high. Great control of the ball there in traffic, though.
Oh, absolutely. Weaves through a couple players and fires a dangerous shot. Like I was saying with Richards, he actually practiced a lot with shooting with his left foot and went and took his penalty on Wednesday with his left foot, so it's pretty cool.
Here's Junior Burgos once again from the corner. Burgos serves it in. Boxing everyone out. Boxy Yomba unable to get to it, and that one will go out of bounds. Pretty neat game coming up here in a few weeks as well, Colin, as we will see a team from Mexico come to downtown Reno. Reno 1868 in partnership with Pazzo Sports is bringing 2017 Liga MX quarterfinalist Atlas Football Club to Greater Nevada Field. That's going to take place July 8th. Kickoff at 7:30. You can get tickets at Reno1868FC.com. That's going to be pretty sweet.
Oh, huge opportunity for these guys to play against a top Liga MX team in Atlas. They're a good team. They had a good run out and were unlucky to not advance against Chivas due to the rule being the aggregate game. They tied 1-1, but the rule is if for a tiebreaker is the higher placed team. So unlucky in that, but they had a good showing.
Got to be a real treat for the fans here. Once again, coming up July 8th here at Greater Nevada Fields.
A good run from Riley Grant, but disappointed that the run was not made for his through ball.
Reno playing with 3 substitutions here in the second half. Burgos, Fernandez, and Yomba, as Kelly, Mfeka, and Richards have head to the bench.
You don't often see both teams making 3 substitutions so early, but
you also don't see a lot of 5-0 scores, do you?
No, you do not, especially that early in the game. But you know, it's like I said earlier, it's a good learning experience for the younger players with Seattle too.
Sometimes the game's just going to go your way, and sometimes it's not.
Oh, absolutely, and they always have next game to be able to show their character and how they respond to a loss that is tough. I mean, going away and losing like this is tough for them, but they're a good team, like we talked about earlier. Placed in 3rd, gotten some big wins this season, so don't discount them off this performance.
It's like Seth Kasipli, a little fur on the top of his lip there.
Yeah, he's got the stash going and looks a different player than in the beginning of this season.
Looks like that stash is working for him, isn't it?
Yeah, between the shaved head and the stash, almost unrecognizable from his team picture.
Reno started the night in 12th place in the Western Conference. Seattle actually had slipped down to 5 after a couple of matches earlier today. Well, I guess technically tied for 3rd, but where they're ranked in that kind of tied group because of different results and points and goals and whatnot.
Yeah.
Technically in 5th place, and certainly this match here today not going to help them stay in the top 3.
No, it's not going to help with their goal difference.
Their goal difference coming in -7, so certainly going to get a lot worse.
At the end of the day, 3 points is 3 points. They can write off this game and go ahead and respond well to it.
And for Reno able to get 3 points here, that would vault them right into the middle of the pack in the USL. Get them kind of in that 5 to 8 range. So this certainly would be a big vault for Ian Russell and his crew.
And Reno actually has a couple games in hand compared to other teams. This is Seattle's 10th game of the season, but however, it's Reno's 7th. So they're able to make up some ground when those games do come. looks like damage control for Seattle Sounders. They're sitting back in their half, giving the Reno 1868 players a lot of time further back.
Well, that really helps. Reno's idea is if you were trying to say at halftime, they'd like to get a clean sheet for Matt Bersano, and the way that Seattle is approaching it right now, it's going to make it a little bit easier for Reno to accomplish that.
Oh, absolutely. And not only is it the second win in a row, but it's the second clean sheet in a row for Matt Bersano, so he'll be happy about that, along with the rest of the defense, because a clean sheet is not just the job of the goalkeeper. It's a collective unit. And from front to back, Reno 1868 have defended very well.
Irvin Parra had a chance taken away by Jordan Morrell. Nice defense there by Reno to clear it out. Here's Kip Colby going the other way.
Oh, and Narbonne's able to read that play, and Sari's able to pick up the ball with some space. Makes a good run and finds Parra. A soft yellow for Jimmy Ockford, if you ask me.
Fans, want to remind you, you can stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune in to the USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 o'clock Eastern on Sirius XM FC Channel 85. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. Irvin Parra, a chance here in the 80th minute to try and get Seattle on the scoreboard.
It's a good place for him. A little further away so he can get it up and over that wall, but not too far where he can still get that shot off.
Tied for the team lead this year with 3 goals, all of which have come during this recent 3-match unbeaten streak. Parra with his right foot and too high as Bersano escorts that one out of bounds. Bersano's got to be a happy guy here in this one tonight. Has not had to make very many saves against Seattle. They tested him a little bit early, and there were some misses that I think the Sounders would like to have back, but since then he really has not been harassed very often.
Yeah, I can't really remember a shot on target. There were 1 or 2 that went just wide, and then the header that almost connected, but I can't remember him making a save, so easy day in the office for Matt Bersano. He hopes to keep it that way.
He'll take it.
Oh, absolutely. Good ball from Luis Felipe to find Boxyamba with some space. Boxyamba fights for the ball. He's looking dangerous today.
Definitely active on the ball.
Oh, absolutely. He's strong, he's powerful, and he's good on the dribble. He wants to make things happen. He wants to force himself into Ian Russell and Eric Bukhari's mind.
And Seattle's only had 2 shots in this entire game compared to 17 for Reno. Wow.
Wow. It has been very one-sided.
And it's pretty amazing. On 17 shots, Reno's got a 47% accuracy. You don't see that very often.
No, you don't. And even the ones that are off target aren't far away. Siple has had 1 or 2 that have gone just over, along with Chris Wehan.
As we suspected earlier, we're talking about possession in this game. As it stands right now, Reno's held the ball about 67% of the time. And in all phases of this contest, really have been in control. It was a little dicey early, a little bit of back and forth, a little bit of a feeling each other out. But once Reno hit that mid-20s mark and that first goal by Dane Kelly at minute marker number 28, it has been all Reno ever since.
Oh, absolutely. Those 3 goals in quick succession really caught Seattle off guard, and it's been all Reno 1868 ever since that point.
Reminder again that Greater Nevada Credit Union is the official sponsor of Greater Nevada Fields. Again, more soccer action coming up on Wednesday night, 7:30 kick, as Reno welcomes the Tulsa Roughnecks. They were in action tonight against Sacramento, and it was the Sac Republic coming away with a 3-2 victory. Tulsa currently 8th in the Western Conference table. Here's Kip Colby. Has it taken away. See if he can do something with this here. Gets barreled over by Irvin Parra, and a whistle blown will give Reno a set piece here in minute number 84.
Colby does well. He not a lot of support. He able to hold the ball and earn a foul. Dangerous opportunity for a Junior Burgos free kick.
He's so good in spots like this. Burgos, the game winner in penalty kicks earlier this week in that U.S. Open Cup match against OSA.
Yes, he had the winning penalty on the 5th kick. Very good at set pieces all around, whether it be penalties, free kicks from out wide, or direct free kicks. Matt LaGrassa does well to keep that in.
Chris Weehan back in the box. Kasipli. Hey, Yumba able to keep it in. Yumba and cleared away. Here's Hopino, and he'll drill that one into the stands. And boy, it looked like Boxy Yumba the first time just caught a little bit out of position. Was not quite able to get to it fast enough.
Oh, it was almost as if Kasiple wanted to return the favor. Instead of going to goal, he tries to hit it back across for Yamba, who assisted Kasiple earlier. Once again, Seth Kasiple found an acres of space. Seattle would want to watch that for future games. They want to make sure they tighten up that back four and people aren't able to get that space that Reno 1868 have been able to get today.
Quick counter from Seattle, and just wide of the net goes Ray Sari. That was one of the best shots on goal they've had all night long.
Yeah, Ray Sari he can't be too disappointed with this performance. There's been a couple times now where he's been able to drive the ball forward and try to make something happen, even if it's all on his own.
It's funny, I want to make a correction in terms of points for Reno. They actually had 5 coming into the night. When I looked on the website for the USL, they've already counted 3 points for their match here tonight. So they've already given this one to Reno, and with about 4 minutes and change left, I think it's a safe assumption. But just wanted to correct myself from earlier that Reno had mentioned 5 points. They'll now go to 8 after tonight.
And they're hoping to pick up more points on Wednesday against Tulsa Roughnecks, and they'll have to go into that game feeling very confident.
Oh, nice touch there from Boxy. Had a perfect opportunity to get it to Opino, but a good job by Seattle to get their foot on it to take away what would have been a wide open opportunity for Opino.
Oh, absolutely, and we know how dangerous he's been in those runs today, earning 2 penalties.
Yeah, it's one of the things kind of forgotten in that hat trick from Gang Kelly. It wasn't Kelly who drew those, it was Opino who was able to draw those takedowns in the box.
And just a couple minutes apart from each other, too.
That really changed this entire game.
No, it's tough for Seattle to respond to that. They weren't out of it at all, and then all of a sudden, 3 goals.
I mean, you took a beer break and came back and said, what the heck happened? You're talking about a 7-minute span where Reno scored 3 goals.
It's almost the same for the Phoenix fans who arrived late from traffic and
hey, what the heck happened?
Got there 6 minutes in. They're already down 2-0.
Drawn down to the final couple minutes of regulation here tonight at Greater Nevada Fields. Junior Burgos. Here's a look at Luis Fernandez.
Luis Fernandez has not looked out of place in this lineup. He's been afforded a lot of time and space, though, so that should give him the chance to get comfortable with this team and see how he does against higher pressure.
Colby trying to feed it into Opino. Seattle trying to get it out of their own half. Sinkum will send it back to Meredith.
Good composure from Brian Meredith. Instead of lumping it away, he was able to find Sinkum again.
Brian Sinkum, 22-year-old from Pennsylvania. First round pick from this past MLS Super Draft. He was 22nd overall coming out of Stanford.
Oh, Jimmy Ockford's got to be careful with those tackles. He's already on a yellow. And last thing he would want is be suspended for the Tulsa Roughnecks game on Wednesday.
Here's another look there. You see Ockford coming in and being aggressive, but he certainly didn't do anything egregious there.
Oh, no, just a little late.
Soccer fans, Nike, an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com.
Reno 1868 does well to work the ball out of that corner. They're able to find Kip Colby with plenty of space to run.
So just a minute of stoppage time here tonight. See if Reno will take one more crack at it. Junior Burgos down in the corner there. Sends it back to Matt LaGrassa. Antoine Opino. Back to Opino. Opino trying to create some space here and kicked away by Parra.
Oh, a clever back heel from Chris Wehan to find Opino. Earn another Reno 1868 corner kick.
This will probably do it right here. We'll see if Reno can make it 6 goals on the night as they will cap off their first win in franchise history. Here comes Burgos. Headed in! Number 6 of the night! And it's a headed goal from Jimmy Ockford. Oh, baby!
Dangerous ball in. That flat, driven ball from Junior Burgos, and Jimmy Ockford's able to get the clear run up. No one's marking him, and it's an easy header past Brian Meredith to cap off an amazing night for Reno 1868.
A 6-goal performance here at Greater Nevada Fields in the very first victory that this building has ever seen. An unbelievable performance after Reno has come up empty in previous showings. They could not have had a better match tonight to get their second win of the season and send these Battle-born fans home with the taste of 3 points in their mouth.
Oh, they were almost perfect tonight, and the Battle-born Brigade will be able to go home happy with this performance. They'll be rocking tonight.
Reno with 4 goals in the first half, the hat trick from Dane Kelly, and then here in the second half, able to add a couple more, and what a sensational performance for this team here tonight, as they have really, as you mentioned, asserting themselves in the United Soccer League, that this is not going to be a team that is just going to roll over and sit at the bottom of the table.
Oh, but beginning of the season, a lot of other teams were probably discounting Reno 1868, but they have shown in these last 2 games that they are not to be underestimated.
So a wild night here at Greater Nevada Field, and the fans will go home happy tonight. 6-0, the final score. We'll come back with highlights and wrap this baby up when we come back. You're watching United Soccer League action here on My21 TV. So a wild night here this evening at Greater Nevada Field as Reno 1868 stays hot. They got their first USL win on the road in Phoenix. Last week they got a win in the U.S. Open Cup earlier this week, and then finally they have come home to Greater Nevada Field and delivered 3 points to their home crowd. And boy, just a sensational performance as we look at the highlights now, Colin, and it all started in the first half as Dane Kelly got off to a remarkable start. We'll take a look first at a great save from Brian Meredith, but there was really nothing else that Meredith would stop the rest of the night. Perfect ball from Brent Richards to set up the first goal from Dane Kelly.
Yeah, Brent Richards' first game in the USL for Reno 1868 and was able to put on that one-time ball through to Dane Kelly, who slotted it into that bottom right corner.
That goal came in the 28th minute, part of a 3-goal performance from Kelly, his second consecutive hat trick. Here was the first of a penalty kick, which was gained after Antoine Opano was taken down in the box. And Opano did a great job as a striker in this one.
Oh, he did. First game of the season as a striker, and he was dangerous throughout. Made run after run and was able to stretch that Seattle defense and earned a couple penalty kicks for Dane Kelly to convert.
Second penalty kick from Kelly and able to fool Brian Meredith. Kelly now 8 goals on the season, 57 in his career. He is the all-time leading USL scorer. Then, before the end of the first half, it was the newcomer, Lindo Mfeka, delivering in the 44th minute as Opano was able to keep it alive, and he buried it in the back of the net with his left foot.
And that was the theme of Reno 1868 today, was winning the ball up high. Opano was able to win the ball in their own box and send it to Mfeka.
Here in the second half, check out this goal. Boxy Yomba able to set up Seth Kasipli. And Yomba, what a dynamic young star this kid could turn into. 20 years old, his first USL performance, and that was a heck of a setup.
Oh, he'll have to be happy with the way he played tonight. Ian Russell will certainly be happy. Looked dangerous throughout, and a nice, easy finish for Seth Kasipli.
Kasipli, his first ever start in the USL, and he gets his first ever goal. And then late in the match, the headed goal from Jimmy Ockford off of the corner from Junior Burgos. That came during stoppage time as Reno capped off a 6-0 victory here at Greater Nevada Field, a match that I think a lot of fans will never forget. I mean, this was truly a sensational performance, and you can see a lot of members of the Battle-Born Brigade and other fans coming onto the field to savor this one here tonight.
Oh, I'm almost sad that I'm not down at field level and I'm up here instead, but that's okay.
A lot of fun up here with you here tonight, Colin Tabor. Appreciate you coming on the broadcast. It was a pleasure having you up here in the booth. I'm looking forward to working with you here throughout the rest of the season.
Oh, thank you, Alex. It's been a pleasure.
Well, it's been a great night here at Greater Nevada Fields, and want to thank our crew here at the ballpark for putting us on the air tonight, doing a fantastic job with our production. The copyright of this broadcast owned by USL Productions, LLC. All rights to this broadcast are reserved, and any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, or any other use of this broadcast without the express written permission of the USL Productions is prohibited. Once again, want to say thank you to Colin Tabor. I'm Alex Margulies saying so long from Greater Nevada Field. Check out this scene as the fans savor the very first win here at home in Reno history. Have a great night, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.
Stress, huh?